Stand by. 238.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a deep dive into my favorite stage, Smoke and Hope. Why is this my favorite stage? Because this stage is all about raw speed. It's named Smoke and Hope for a reason, and today I'm going to teach you how to get a GM run. So before we dive into all the tips and tricks, I want to start the video by asking you to go ahead and like and subscribe, and please share this video with any friends who may be interested in getting into the sport of Steel Challenge. That way, we can grow the sport together. Now let's start by breaking down this stage. Smoke and Hope has 4 18 by 24 inch rectangular plates and one 12-inch stop plate. The closest plate is 7 yards from the firing line, and the farthest plate is the stop plate at 14 yards from the firing line. So this stage is very up close and personal, which is precisely what makes this stage so fun, even for new shooters. It's not hard to get your hits when you have so many large targets so close to you. In fact, 2 of the large rectangle targets are 7 yards from the firing line, while the other 2 are only 9 yards from the firing line. The hardest shot you have on this stage is the stop plate. What makes this stage hard is the very unforgiving peak time. Now, if you're unfamiliar, the peak time is the designated time it takes to get 100% classification on this stage. Currently, in carry optics, the peak time for Smoke and Hope is 10 seconds. And now that I brought that up, you know what time it is. It's time to talk math. If the peak time for carry optics is 10 seconds, that means your 4 best strings have to be 2.5 seconds each. Assuming you have a 1.5 second draw, that leaves you with 1 second to engage all 5 targets. That only leaves 0.25 seconds per plate, including the stop plate. For some people, quarter-second splits are hard to get even when shooting at one target multiple times. What would really benefit you here is to work on your draw time. The faster you can draw from the holster and engage the first target, the more time you're going to have to divide up against the plates that are left. What also helps here is the generous plate sizes on this stage. Typically, when I engage the first plate, I am engaging the plate at or below 1 second. The reason for this is I'm able to point shoot the first target, and I'm not picking up my dot until I've transitioned to the second target. If point shooting isn't something you're comfortable doing, I would suggest seeking professional training or taking some time at a range that allows you to practice drawing and firing from the holster. Point shooting is a valuable skill to have in terms of gun handling, period. And being able to point shoot effectively is going to really help you on this stage.
Are you ready?
Next, let's talk about strategy. There are a few effective ways to engage Smoke and Hope. My favorite strategy, and what I stick to 99% of the time, is to engage target 4, 3, then a long transition to 1, 2, stop plate. The reason for this is because I find that transitioning to the right on a small target like the stop plate is more controllable and comfortable for me than transitioning to the left. Now that's not the same for everyone, and you may want to try coming into the stop plate from the left and the right to determine if you want to go in reverse order. Now, I have also seen some very excellent shooters engage the targets straight across, 1, 2, 3, 4 stop plate, and make incredibly fast times doing so. The reason I personally don't like this strategy is because it makes the transition from plate 4 to the stop plate the longest transition, and I don't want to have a long transition to the stop plate if I can help it. The hardest plate that you're going to engage on this stage is going to be the stop plate, and that's where I see most shooters struggle. So the key to this stage is learning to throttle your transitions. Because of the generous plate sizes and how fast you need to be to get a good time on this stage, you're really going to muscle the gun around, pushing your transitions fast. Reason being, you have a lot of room for error. It's hard to overshoot such a large plate at such a short distance. However, when it comes to the stop plate, you're going to want to be able to throttle back just enough to finesse the transition to the stop plate without overshooting it. Another place that I see shooters struggle is the transition from plate 3 to plate 1. Because if you're using the strategy that I use, this is going to be your longest transition on the stage. Shooters who use this strategy tend to push the gun too far and over transition on plate 1 and shoot just beyond it, which is why you shouldn't point shoot this entire stage. What I will typically do is draw, and once my gun is level, I'm firing at the first plate, and during the transition to plate 3, I'm acquiring my dot and pulling the trigger before transitioning to plate 1. That way, once I'm transitioning to plate 1, I have my dot acquired and I'm able to land my shot effectively without overshooting or over transitioning. So all in all, this is a pretty simple stage. There's not much to say other than work on your raw speed, focus on getting your draw time down, maybe work on point shooting to shave some extra time off that first shot, and learning to throttle down to be able to accurately hit the stop plate. This stage will really challenge you to throttle your transitions effectively. Well, that's all the time I have for you this time. I know it's a short video, but this is a simple stage that doesn't require a lot of explanation. If you have any questions about this stage or anything else, leave them down in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, I'll see you next time.